BBR Scramble. Round of 32 here against Spider. We got a really huge matchup here today. If we win, we're on to the next round. If we lose, we go home. If you guys are excited for today's battle, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers by the end of the year. I would really appreciate if you could help me on that goal. So let's talk about the matchup here. He's got an interesting team. Going to be really tough to play around some certain threats. Ursaluna Blood Moon is really annoying. He's got Okidogi as well. His is not Terra though. He's got Terra Salamence instead, for example. He's got a Greninja as well. That's going to be very, very problematic as you see the Yachi berries there. Greninja is going to be a little targeted on those ones there. But let's get right into this team. Let's talk about the game plan here. And the game plan is all around removing his Empoleon to set up a Tornadus-T Hurricane Sweep. Nasty Plot, Taunt, Hurricane, Grass Knot. That coverage hits pretty much everything. Grass Knot's really effective in this matchup because it helps, avoid Hurricane misses that we wouldn't necessarily... So we don't have to go for Hurricane basically every move on a lot of Pokemon like Greninja and that Ursaluna. But we really need to break down Empoleon for this Pokemon to be effective. And with stuff like Scizor, Okidogi, Garchomp, Rotom, not Misdreavus. We've got a lot of ways to handle that Empoleon and put a lot of pressure on it. Garchomp here is just going to be a standard spike set, and my big criticism of Garchomp is it's just a spike and 3 attacker. That's what we're using today. Spike is going to be really good against the Empoleon because it's likely to not be heavy duty boots, only in that it's a steel type, so he's probably going to try to get away with running something like maybe Leftover as some sort of Choppleberry. Spikes will punish that though in the long game. So we're running Spikes, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail prevents random setup sweep shenanigans potentially from Salamence is the main reason. This Pokemon is just there to just break a little bit and open up the game for our Tornadus. Pyapa Berry, Okidogi. This is actually a direct counter to my opponent's Okidogi as I am Terra Poison, and Pyapa Berry is for the Psychic Fangs that you see on the screen, as well as the Poison type that I have is for that as well. We want to maintain Poison type just so we can resist Fairy moves from the Scream Tail that my opponent has. And then Psychic Fangs does a great job of kind of putting into a similar situation with Okidogi. If they come in on each other, I can just Psychic Fangs and kill. And because of my Pop Berry, I can switch in, take a hit, and then tear up and take another hit. So that's going to be really, really massive here in this game. Rotom Wash here, just standard Rocky Helmet. This is going to be good against a lot of common Dragon Dance sets that could be possible in this matchup if they want to run Dragon Claw as coverage move. I do have the Scream Tail in the back, so we'll see what Terra type my opponent ends up going if they want to go that route. Foul Play is going to be very, very good against that Pokemon, though, and Rest Stock allows me to have some longevity in the long game. Metal Coat Scizor and Battle Coat is really good for picking up some extra KOs with Bullet Punch. Lunge basically prevents Salamence from setting all over me. That's going to be a really important thing potentially in this matchup. And then Close Combat is the main thing here. Close Combat is really difficult for my opponent to switch into, mainly because the Pokemon they want to switch into this is the Empoleon, which is not going to appreciate a Close Combat. And because I'm not choiced, I might be able to catch my opponent out there with this one. Misdreavus here is going to be a little bit of an Ursaluna Blood Moon answer. We brought it for regular Ursaluna to end the pools, and we're going to bring it here to deal with the Ursaluna Blood Moon. Taunt, Pain Split, Decimon, and Grass Knot. Grass Knot does like over 50%, which is kind of insane to Ursaluna Blood Moon, so definitely a good Pokemon there. That's the team we're going up against Spider with, and I'll see you guys in the battle. It is time for the battle here. Interesting game plan, as we said in the team builder here. The goal is to kill the Empoleon, and then the Torn-T just wins the game eventually. We just have to find an opportunity to click Nasty Plot. Scream Tail's a good Pokemon to set that up on with Taunt. Our lead here is always going to be Scizor because that gives us an opportunity to bait in the Empoleon as quickly as possible. This also gives good calcs against a lead Greninja. And then Close Combat is just a really difficult move for my opponent to switch in on. They can't really go Scream Tail. They could go into something like the Salamence. Their Salamence is Terra Ghost. We are Terra Poison in this scenario. So Foul Play actually going to be very, very good against that Salamence in this spot, which will be really, really nice. But we're going to lead with our Metal Coat Scizor and start cooking. Let's see if we can pick up a early kill. Let's see if we can get this Empoleon in the first few turns in the game. That would be really, really massive to the gameplay here. Good luck to Spider in this game. They went 3-0 in brackets, so big game for them. Scream Tail here. Good lead for me. So this is a good counter lead actually by my opponent. I obviously am not in a position to really stay in and take a fire move. I do have like the potential to like live a hit, but that's not like really a play that I have to make at this point in time in the game necessarily. I think Screamtail was an interesting bring. That's what Pokemon we actually had as like not really a possibility in this matchup for my opponent. And Bullet Punch is kind of obvious. Do I get really aggressive? I think the safe run here is just to go into Rotom Wash. I think it's possible that my opponent probably either Flamethrowers. They could go into Empoleon here. They could just set up the rocks. Setting up rocks would be pretty aggressive in this spot. My opponent's just going to set up a Wish here. Interesting, okay. So they're probably Wish Protect then if they try to stay in on Scizor. Otherwise, I don't really see the progress they can make with that move. I can go for the foul play. So with the Misdreavus here in the back, I'm not really scared of that Ursaluna coming out. I think I can freely discharge here. And if I discharge, I could get a Paralyze on this. And if they go Ursaluna, then we go straight into Misdreavus and start doing some Pain Split nonsense. So I'm going to discharge and see if we can kind of get some information on this. So perfect. Let's get a little Protect written down here. And then I'm actually... Oh no, I lowered my DPI. I'm actually going to then foul play here, because my opponent could... I think it's likely that they try to get Ursaluna in here now. That would be a reasonable play on my opponent's part. It looks like the Screamtail is just Wish defensive. So I think I'm going to foul play, try to catch that Ursaluna here, and that could allow me to Grass Knot with Misdreavus as well. So we're going to get a quick foul play off. My opponent's just going to Dazzling Gleam here. Crit here, kind of annoying. But that's continuing to give us some information here. Now that I've clicked Dazzling Gleam and foul play, I do have Rest Sleep Talk, so I'm not too concerned about taking a lot of damage in this spot. And they're giving us a lot of information early on the Screamtail. Man, if I just stayed in and Bullet Punch, that could have been really powerful. Obviously, it's not going to kill though, so like that wouldn't have really been progressive. I think they're going to be really... It sounds like looks like they're really just apprehensive to go into Ursaluna. And alright, this could be perfect. I could really get a good opportunity to get a Paralyze off on the Screamtail, which would be really, really nice. Any Paralyzers? No. Alright, I could go into Okidogi here. This would be like a pretty aggressive double. So I think at this point it's pretty likely that they don't have a Psychic move, and they're just trying to protect here. So I can go into my Okidogi and set up a big turn here on that Pokemon. I kind of... You know, I have the berry as well to protect against that, so I think I'm actually just going to make this play. This is kind of a safe play, I think. Into Okidogi. Make some headway into this matchup. I can click Gunk Shot, I can click Knock Off. I think Empoleon's unlikely to want to come in. They can bring in their own Okidogi as well, certainly. And my opponent's just going to click Dazzling Gleam. Okay, that's actually going to do, like, hit a full amount of damage. The Wish is going to come true. And now, I think what I want to do here... so I can go Poison, I can click Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot would be very, very good here. I could obviously just Knock Off. Knock Off would be really nice on the Terra Poison. They could go into their own Okidogi. They could go into Ursaluna. Ursaluna getting knocked off would be nice here. I don't think that they can stay in. I think staying in would be really, really bad for my opponent. So I'm just going to Terra Poison and then elect to go for the Knock Off here. I think it's like a decent chance that they're Flamethrower as last move. Otherwise, this set doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially as a lead against Scizor. So I think we're pretty free to go for this, and they're going to have a difficult time getting switched into this knockoff. They're actually going to stay in, interestingly enough. Maybe trying to scout my set a little bit. They could have a Psychic move. I really don't think that they would have a Psychic move. They're just going to protect here. Okay. Probably just trying to see if I'm going to lock myself into a move. Because of the fact that they didn't reveal an item, might make them think that I'm choice locked here. They could stay in, man. I don't think they can stay in here. I think that would be pretty ridiculous. I don't think... Nah, ridiculous is maybe not the right word. I don't think that would be a reasonable play on my opponent's part. I think I just click Knock Off again. I don't really have much to lose from just knocking off twice. You know, there's not really much progress that they can be made for my opponent. I don't think they can stay in, even if they are, even if they do a Psychic move here at this point. The fact that I've Terra'd into this. The fact that I'm Terra Poison and brought this in aggressively, I still think Flamethrower has to be last move. That's the only thing that really makes a lot of sense in this current situation. And they don't switch into this well. They can risk and Ursaluna Poison. But then that's really, really tough against Misdreavus. Misdreavus answers that perfectly. They can go into their Okidogi, then that opens up a Psychic Fangs kill here, guaranteed, because they can knock off any potential item that they have. And they go into Empoleon. Wow, that's actually perfect. Really, really nice here to get that knockoff pop. And they are Choppleberry, actually. Nice. Okay, Choppleberry was one of the items that we, heavily considered in this matchup. And now Empoleon, defensive pivot. They could potentially be set, can potentially be ready for this. I think if they're defensive, what are the chances that this kills defensive? This Drain Punch is not really doing a lot. This is doing about 50%. I am risking a Scald here, a Scald Burn when I don't necessarily have to. They could get up the rocks. They could Flip Turn. I think Flip Turn would be a nice move. Once again, I really just need to get damage on this Pokemon, and then I'm pretty much home free for the rest of the battle. So I'm just going to elect a Drain Punch, actually. We've got the knockoff going. Close combat is actually potentially in range of this, and what they probably don't know is my set, close combat kills here. And I'm just going to Drain Punch, so they, I do potentially risk a Scald Burn here, but once again, if I kill this Pokemon is now also in range of the Torn, which is really, really important. They're just going to Flip Turn here. Okay, perfect. We picked up basically all the requisite damage that we needed on this Pokemon. And now they're going to bring in something like probably Salamence would be interesting to bring in here. I could potentially see that coming in and trying to set up. They could bring in a Specs Greninja, but the fact that I'm almost full HP, that's actually not really a good idea for them. Drain Punch is going to do a lot. I can even Gunk Shot them from this point. They can go into their own Okidogi, but I do have the Pyapa Berry and I do have Psychic Fangs. Not a lot of good options here for my opponent, and that Empoleon being weakened, the end game's opened up now for Torn. That's basically all the requisite chip that we needed on that Pokemon. And their Screamtail is just not equipped to deal with my Torn. I'm still going to Taunt, obviously, in case their last move T-Wave, always certainly a possibility. Don't want to allow that to be a problem, certainly, but this is looking really, really good right now in this spot. They're bringing in Eclipse. Okay, so that is going to be the Ursaluna Blood Moon. So Ursaluna, I mean, we have Misdreavus for a reason. That's, why we brought this Pokemon was for the Ursaluna. It does a really, really good job of managing this Pokemon. And they're just going to Blood Moon, okay. That actually did, almost nothing. That's actually, hilarious. And now I'm just going to be able to go in here, and I'm just going to Pain Split off this damage. Oh, they could go aggressive into the Empoleon. I don't think they do that, though. I don't think they necessarily do that in this spot. That could be... No, hold on. I'm so bad at calcing. I'm a little bit nervous. I think I clicked that move, too quickly for no reason. And they are going to withdraw. Empoleon would be an interesting Pokemon to bring in at this point. Yeah, fuck, they are going to bring that in. That's a really good play on their part to bring this Pokemon in. And now they're just going to be able to get a free Flip Turn off here. Yeah, that was potentially a pretty big throw on my part early in the game here. But once again, this is still requisite damage territory for the Tornadus. Flip Turn is a possibility here. How much does Flip Turn do? Flip Turn does a decent amount. Surf. I think I'm just going to go for... I could go for the Grasslant. Grassland's not doing a lot. I'm just going to go for another Pain Split. I think that they're probably just going to Flip Turn here. I guess that does, actually nothing. I don't know why I clicked that instead of Grasslant. Man, I'm just all over the place right now. I should be playing way, way better than I am right now, but I'm just clicking moves that just don't make sense. I got to get my head back in the game. I know this is winnable. I know we've maneuvered the spot that we needed to set this up. And I'm allowing myself to get a little bit flustered in this scenario when I don't need to. Let's see what they bring out here. Could this be... This is just the Greninja. This could be Battle Bond. That's actually a potentially really likely scenario here. That they're just Battle Bond Greninja. So obviously I can't just lose this to Battle Bond Greninja for no reason. So I'm just going to bring in the Run and Wash. I am Rest Talk, which is going to be really nice here. Oh, man, I'm just frustrated a little bit with how I'm playing this game. I could have clicked Grass Knot in that spot. And my opponent's just going to click U-turn. Okay, so they are Protean, which is good. And we are Rocky Helmet, so that's going to get a little bit of chip on this as well, which I think is all the chip we necessarily need for some of the calcs that we're looking to get accomplished here in this matchup. I don't think they can bring in Ursaluna here either, and if they do, they're probably just Blood Moon. I kind of just maybe allow them to Blood Moon. You know, I rest, allow them to Blood Moon, and I can go into my Mischievous from there. Once again, we're still in a good spot, and the fact that that's Protean is really, really good news. So we don't have to protect against a potential Battle Bond at some point. I think the play I should have done instead of Pain Split there was Taunt. Taunt to protect against... I think it gets Roost again. That would have been the play to make at that spot. Whisper comes out here, it's just this fucking Scream Tail. I could be like really aggressive here, and so if I go into the Okidogi, what happens? He could double into Ursaluna, possibility. That's the play I made last time. That's something they could elect to do here. I kind of want to maintain my Pyoptic Berry. I actually don't have to maintain this Pyoptic Berry really at all. There's really like I don't really have much of a use case for it in this spot, and the fact that I switched out first makes me believe that they're likely going to stay in. Unless, like, I'm somehow faster, but I don't think that's possible. Alright, so I have to protect against this Empoleon here, with this attack. So I think I'm just gonna click Drain Punch here. Just to protect against that Empoleon coming in. I obviously have, like, no ability to click Gunk Shot. I guess I could click Knock Off here. What are the calcs on that? Yeah, the calcs are looking potentially risky. I don't remember how much. If it's defensive, then it's risky. So I'm just going to Drain Punch, protect against that Empoleon. If my opponent wants to waste their wish on this Pokemon, perfectly okay with that. And if they want to go into something like Ursaluna, then I get back up to full HP here, which would be really, really nice. And then I could even sack... Man, could I just sack the Mischievous and then set up with the Torn? Is that like an actual win condition if I Drain Punch here? They are going to withdraw... Let's see if they try to get cute here on Empoleon. Okay, bro. Okay, what is this Pokemon? Their own Okidogi. Okay. Interesting. So I do have the Psychic Fangs for this, actually. I think, like, they probably scout for this. I mean, they probably do, right? I would assume they scout for this. But, I mean, I'm just going to click Psychic Fangs. This is the scenario that we're clicking this move for. Like, we have this move for. Was this scenario against Okidogi. It's just to click Psychic Fangs and, like, deal as much damage to this as possible. Once again, I don't think, like, potentially a lot of this... You know, a lot of this is going to potentially matter. Like, I still think, like, the Torn is, like, obviously our path to victory here. We still have to obviously find a turn to get that done. And especially in brackets now, we don't have to worry about differential at this point. Like, we've done the requisite damage, we just need to get that out of the way. The Yachi Berry will secure the kills, even against stuff like Scarf Greninja. We just have to fucking hit some Hurricanes. Getting this Pokemon out of the way would be a Hurricane less to hit, though, which would be nice. Are they going to scout for this? They probably have to, right? They are going to do their own Psychic Fangs. But the Pyoptic Berry is going to save me quite a bit of damage. And then my Psychic Fangs is just going to kill back. Big, big kill for Okidogi here in this matchup. As we remove that Pokemon, so that's one less Hurricane we have to hit in this battle, which is all that really matters, honestly. Like, that's like the most important thing for me in this matchup. It's just one less move I have to hit. And now, like, honestly, like, that was like one of their last Pokemon that could really effectively switch into this. Now the Salamence can potentially be a little bit of an issue here in this spot. It is possible that, you know, they bring that in and it becomes an issue. I actually don't think that they bring it in because they know I have knockoff. They could set up a Dragon Dance, they can dual Wing Beat. They're just going to bring this Pokemon in. I'm curious what the calcs are on Ursaluna Blood Moon. So they could Earth Power me. I'm obviously faster. I'm going to be able to Drain Punch and get like a decent amount of damage. So if I get about 20% back, this Earth Power is doing about potentially 320. I mean, this Earth Power is always killing, but I think they probably go for the Blood Moon, and I should live this after any Drain Punch. So I think I'm just going to Drain Punch here This does a decent amount to like max HP. Max HP, I mean, this is a very, very defensive set. Not that I would be unsurprised if this was his set, but I'm just going to Drain Punch here. Oh, get as much damage on that as I can. And that is a 2-hit KO. Nice. That is huge. I'm going to gain a lot of damage, and I think she actually could live most defensive sets here. Yeah, I'm going to definitely live this Blood Moon. Yeah, that's, I mean, not as well as I would have liked to live the Blood Moon. But I do live the Blood Moon, and I can trade Okidogi actually for this Pokemon if I wanted to. I could actually even use this as a setup opportunity. Actually, no, I can't, because my opponent could like very easily just go into, like, deal enough damage and go into Scarf Crown. But this Drain Punch should kill, so I think I'm actually just going to take the opportunity to get this Ursaluna out of the way while the going is good. Let's just remove this Pokemon, because if I do lose my Okidogi on this turn, I bring in Mischievous, click Grass Knot, and then we're continuing to make progress in this game. Once again, we're just kind of if we can just trade Pokemon down, we just need to find a window of opportunity to get a setup with the Torn on. Empoleon is a great Pokemon to get that setup on. If we see an opportunity with Empoleon on the field, we can use that to set up, and that would be a perfect opportunity. My opponent's going to withdraw here. Nice. So let's see what my opponent's going to give me here. Probably Scream Tail. Going to Owen. That's a Salamence. They're Intimidate. Really? Interesting. Okay. Did not expect them to be Intimidate. So they are just defensive then? Interesting. This is... I'm expecting a dual Wing Beat here. I think this is a pretty good angle to just go into my Rotom Wash here. I don't think there's really any reason to get too complicated with this sequence of turns here. Once again, the Scream Tail is actually looking hella setup fodder as well, and that Pokemon seems to want to come in every time on my Rotom Wash. There's no way they're Intimidate Leftovers Dragon Dance either, and even if they are, then like Foul Play is going to do a massive amount, especially with that Ghost type. So I think we've kind of opened the window here. If this Scream Tail comes in, I kind of just want to sack Mischievous here and go for the win. I think it's time to just go for game, just try to win. I kind of want to see what the Tornadus, Therian Calx are versus, what is it called? The Scream Tail. Dazzling Gleam's doing a decent amount. It's doing about like 24. My opponent is going to click Substitute here. Okay, so sub Leftovers. This Foul Play should do a decent amount. I mean, they could be sub DD. I don't think that's like necessarily the most real. I mean, it's possible with Leftovers Intimidate, but if you're sub DD, you're certainly Moxie in this spot. So I'm just going to click Foul Play. Foul Play is going to deal the most damage here. And even if they're they can't, it forces them to not be Terra Ghost in this spot, which is massive. And they like to have Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw is never killing unless they crit. So they're gonna have to take like a decent chunk of damage, and then this potentially opens up even more opportunity. Yep, here comes the Terra Ghost. Okay. Terra Ghost time. I could have stayed in a Noct actually. I'm trying to think if like that's like a play that's like a possibility. Sub DD is interesting. So sub DD +1. It's pretty much killing. Yeah, it's killing me every time. Here, okay, what is my resolution to this after? So he's sub DD, Terra Ghost. I can bring in Dragon Tail after this. I can Earthquake. Terra Ghost is not a contact move. How much does Terra Ghost do? Yeah, the thing is Terra Blast is doing 1,000,000 here as well. I'm just going to Foul Play again. If I have to sack this Pokemon, I have to sack this Pokemon. I'm perfectly okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Wow, sub-intimidate DD is interesting. That's not a set that I really expect, and maybe I should have knocked off to protect against that and forced him to kill me. Okay, so let's think through this. So so this Pokemon is likely, so the fact that it's Terra Ghost now, I can come into Garchomp. I can Garchomp and I can Earthquake. I think I Garchomp and I Earthquake, and that opens up the Calx that I need probably on the Scizor afterwards. That would probably, yeah, that should open up the Calx that I need here if I bring this Pokemon in. It could be Dragon Claw. Oh, I should have calced Dragon Claw against Garchomp. Oh, fuck, this is gonna kill. Ah, man, I'm potentially throwing this game when I don't have to. Is it Dragon Claw? Would it really be Dragon Claw Terra Ghost? If it is, then the 2 Bullet Punches will kill, or it should kill at least. Yeah, I'm just like really like throwing this game where like I don't really have to. I'm just like not allowing this. I'm just not making the right plays right now. I mean, I just have to Earthquake. My opponent's just going to Terra Blast. Okay, so they are not going to kill me here, which is good. All right, so I think we're fine. Perfect. Okay, we're going to get an Earthquake off. Nice, 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 nice. That's going to open up. That opens up the Bullet Punch. That opens up the Bullet Punch. Perfect. That's just what we needed here, was to open up that Bullet Punch. Because that Earthquake did about, yeah, that did it in the range, and like this Scizor, this Scizor should certainly be doing enough here. So I do think I just Earthquake again. Allow my opponent to potentially misplay. Okay, I think we're fine here. They probably have Fire move last, would be my expectation. But we needed that chip just to open up the Scizor here. And once again, I think we're still in, I think we're still in a good spot. I really think we're still in a good spot. Yeah, that should be perfectly in range of this Scizor here. And then the Torn still is the win con here from this point forward. If we get this Salamence out of the way, then we're cooking. We're in a good position. And they're not killing me anyway, even if they don't. Like, they could run some sort of Flamethrower set. Flamethrower could potentially, actually does, like, actually kill my set, but to be a set that does that every time, I think probably ends up in a situation where they certainly can't live this. I know this Pokemon probably randomly dies to +2 Grass Knot, which is, like, kind of funny, the fact that they've teared into Ghost as well. Yeah, I think a play I should have made there was knock off with Okidogi and just sack that, just to prevent this setup. This Pokemon like taking so many off of my team, just like an unoptimal, pacing of that turn. They go into Carmine, which is this thing. Yeah, perfect. I think I can just CC this. They're probably expecting me to be something like Choice Band. If I CC, how much does CC do to Ursaluna? I'm actually killing that too. So I think I'm just going to actually close combat this. Yeah, I'm just going to pick this off. Yeah, close combat, perfect. So Empoleon's gone. We've had a little bit of a tough momentum at the start. But we are looking pretty good here at this point. Would really like to pick up this, I don't even need to Nasty Plot, I think, necessarily at this point. If they bring in Greninja next, I don't think they can, because that's like a pretty big risk of Bullet Punch. Scizor actually does a really good job cleaning out the rest of this team, which is nice. I get to see if they have Scream Tail Flamethrower. If they do have Flamethrower, then I can set up and actually win this game, which would be pretty crucial. So I think there was a little bit of a mid-game scare there with the Ments, but I think we scrambled back into... We scrambled into it. We kind of scrambled, played a little bit of scramble offense, Pat Mahomes in the pocket, and kind of cooked. Yeah, I think they think this is now CB or something, not CB. And they're going to Intimidate, actually. Okay. I think I just Bullet Punch twice. I don't have like a particular reason to not Bullet Punch twice. Bullet Punch is going to put them out of range of getting a substitute up. And if they just, attack me with a Flamethrower or a Fire Fang, then I'm perfectly okay with that. I can then this is just perfect setup for Torn. And then Torn should just be able to win the game from here. Or I kill this with Torn, and then I can set up on something else. So I'm just going to Bullet Punch. Protect against the worst case scenario by Bullet Punching here. Yeah, perfect. And they're just going to Flamethrower. Okay, nice. And I do die there. Okay. Yeah, it is Flamethrower. That's good to know. Now, let's see. Yeah, this Grass Knot should definitely kill from this point. And there's no way that they outspeed me for my current set. Yeah, because they only hit 328. All right, we'll bring this thing in, and I think it's time to go for game here. I think we have the requisite damage that we need. I'm going to click Grass Knot so I don't miss from this particular spot. I don't see what they can necessarily go into from this point, so I'm just going to Grass Knot. Oh, I might have had a nasty plot there, actually. Hold on. No, the Hurricane does actually probably pick up the knockout after Rocky Helmet damage on the Greninja. Yeah, okay. I think we're fine here. My opponent could get aggressive here and switch out. Okay, perfect. If they switch out, then we win the game. Perfect. Okay, perfect. I just taunt and set up over this Pokemon. And that should be potentially game. I do have to be mindful of Protean, Ice Beam, Life Orb Calc. So it's doing about 54 to 65. How much is this Dazzling Gleam doing? So I can't take 2 of these. If I set up to +2, I kind of have to hit 2 of these. Hold on. I kind of just want to taunt here. I'm just going to taunt. Prevent anything crazy from happening. I think they just wish here. Oh, they're just going to Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, I might be... Oh, fuck, I'm in trouble now. I think I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I think I have to sack this Pokemon off. I might actually lose this game, yeah. I think I had the nasty plot in that spot, but I don't kill. And I think I take 2, but they could have T-Wave there. It's like a really possibility. I think I actually sacked this because Okidogi doesn't die now. I still have setup opportunity with this actually later in the game. So Okidogi doesn't die to this Dazzling Gleam. Oh my god, they double. Wow. They double into this. Okay. Wow, that could have been like really, really bad for them. Wow, the fact that I kind of thought they were just going to attack again. Maybe they don't have Ice Beam. I'm like really confused at what's going on here. This Grass Knot's actually killing. Is actually doing a lot of damage, so they can't actually set up here. I'm just going to Grass Knot. Yeah, they're just going to Terra Blast. Okay. Okay, so I know that... Now what I know is that they don't actually have anything on their Screamtail. I have to hit her. I have to click Hurricane in this spot, actually, I think. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm bringing this in every time. I think I actually have to click Hurricane here. Because if they go into Screamtail, then I need to get that requisite damage off on that Pokemon. And the fact that they don't have anything to stop the nasty plot here. If they go into Hurricane, take a Hurricane, I nasty up, I Hurricane again, and they die, and then I think that's the game. So I think I have to Hurricane from this spot. I have to hit my Hurricanes here. That's just kind of the position I put myself in, the position it is, the position we worked for. It's time to take that opportunity that we get. Would have liked to potentially have done more damage. Yeah, that could have ended up pretty awkwardly. As far as they attacked there, not necessarily surprised actually. I think the attack there makes sense. What do they play around here if I nasty plot? They can't go into Gran or anything. They DD with this, I think, if they want to protect against that. They withdraw, okay. Going to Screamtail would be perfect. Into this. So I missed a Hurricane, that's perfectly fine. If we're going to miss any of them, that's the one to miss. So the Grass Knot is killing this Pokemon, so I'm just going to Grass Knot this. This Pokemon will die to this Grass Knot, unless there's somehow Rindleberry, which I don't think is a possibility in this matchup. They're going to withdraw again. I'm really not sure what they're trying to accomplish in this spot. They're going to go back into this, okay. They try to get a free switch into this, I think is essentially what they wanted to do, which makes sense. Maybe I could have predicted that. I don't know if that's like necessarily something that's realistic to predict. So the thing is here to win this game. It's if I hurricane. So if I nasty plot hurricane, it's not doing a lot. It's not really accomplishing much. I kind of just want a hurricane and see if I can hit a confusion off on this. Because I kind of want to see if they wish here. Yeah, give me a confusion here. Confusion here would be pretty huge. I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam. Okay. So I think there's a high chance that they wish this time. So if I hurricane, so if they wish this turn, I hurricane. So okay, so I taunt. I don't want to play this. If I hurricane this turn and hit, I think I taunt actually to prevent the wish, because then I can hurricane. I can regain the regenerator on a sack on Okidogi and win the game. I think. So I think I'm gonna taunt here to prevent wish. I think that's my win con for this game, especially where they're not battle bond on Greninja. They're just gonna Dazzling Gleam again. Okay. Yeah, really, that's interesting. Well, if I hurricane again, I'm gonna hurricane again. Can I get a crit here? A crit would be fire. A confusion would be nice too. It's doing a decent amount. I mean, I'm going Okidogi here every time to get some more HP back. Can I double Okidogi back into this, back into Okidogi? Probably not. Oh my god, I actually can. Okay. Wow, that was a crit. So he is going to shake off the taunt, but I don't think he's going to wish here. I think wish would be too aggressive. I get back to 209. I'm just going to bring this back in. If he wishes, I nasty plot. And then I'm pretty much dead to the Greninja. I'm not dead to timid Protean. And I have to click Hurricane though. Let's see what my opponent clicks here. That crit's a little frustrating because that potentially removes another switch in that I had into that. They wish. Wow, perfect. I think they're gonna protect here actually. Do I have to play into the fact? I think my best play here is to play into the fact that they're timid Greninja. I think it's like my safest play because then I don't have to play for the miss. I'm just gonna nasty up. I think they're gonna probably protect here. They have to protect, I think. Yeah, perfect. I think we've worked out this win condition here. If they're timid Greninja, which I think they might be to guarantee the speed on this, then this should be a win as long as we connect this Hurricane. We have to hit this Hurricane and then we can just Grass Knot from there. So, all right, we put our faith into the Hurricane. Any Hurricane hitters? Any hitters? Anyone up hitting their Hurricanes? Anyone up hitting their Hurricanes? Oh my god, and we can't even hit a Hurricane. Oh my fuck. Oh, this game is so cruel sometimes, truthfully. A cruel and evil game, Pokemon is. Oh my god, I can't deal with this. Oh my god, that's crazy. Am I gonna hit one of these Hurricanes? Can I at least hit one? One Hurricane. One Hurricane is all I'm asking for. Oh my god, that's funny. You know what? Whatever. Oh my god. What can you say? Unfortunate to go out and BBR the scramble in the first round of brackets. I think this is a game we played well. I think the biggest downfall I think in this game was having to sack so many resources to the Salamence. That wasn't really a set that I thought was coming. And I probably could have played around it by sacking this Okidogi. I really expected to just be defensive to get eaten up by Rotom Wash in that spot, but it turns out that's not what it was. Interesting sub DD set. Not sure. I guess it's like pretty good in each Rotom set that I brought, so I guess that actually kind of makes sense. But the fact that we missed like 4 Hurricanes in a row is like pretty funny. It is what it is. That is our end of our BBR Scramble run. Good game to Spider. I think he played that well. I think it was potentially a tough matchup for him. But I just wasn't able to get... I just really wasn't able to capitalize on kind of all the momentum I got into the early game, and that Salamence set really threw me off. If I click knockoff, I think I'm pretty much in the driver's seat and probably win that game. I can preserve my Screamtail into the late game and get a lot of damage, but it is what it is. Hindsight is 2020. I don't know if that was, the correct play to, maybe that's the correct play to knock off there. But you know what? Everything's a learning process in this game, and this was a really, really fun tour. I really like my team, and it is what it is. So make sure to stay subscribed and like the video if you have not already. There's going to be a lot more Pokemon content coming out over the next couple of weeks as we continue GBU and VGC prep for regionals and some post-regionals content. I'll talk to you guys later, and as always, have a wonderful day.